This week, I made $2,176, and I spent a little bit of it doing every trucker's favorite hobby, waiting. Yep, we're talking about detention pay, the trucking world's version of hurry up and wait. Grab your coffee, because if you've ever sat at a dock wondering if they forgot you exist, this one's for you. Hey drivers, welcome to week 43 of Six Figure Trucking, where we watch the midlife trucker, that's me, Tom Bell, work toward the goal of earning six figures as a company driver. Now, this week's topic is something every driver's dealt with but nobody enjoys: detention pay. It's like Bigfoot. Everyone's heard of it. Some swear they've seen it, but most are still waiting for proof it's real. Before I started trucking, I lived the corporate life. I was a senior vice president with a nice, steady salary, one that didn't care if I worked 40 hours or 80. I used to joke that when you made VP, you worked half days. And if you were really good, you even got to choose which 12 hours those were. But in trucking, it's different. We're paid for what we do: miles, stops, securement, and sometimes what we don't do. Like when we're stuck at a dock watching the same forklift driver disappear for his third smoke break. That's detention, the fine art of being patient while your workday clock isn't. Now, the type of freight you haul can make a big difference. Reefer drivers, you get the full dockside spa experience. The lights hum, the air's cold, and the wait never ends. Dry van folks, you'll twiddle your thumbs a little less, but it still happens. Tanker drivers, you're doing the offloading yourself, so congratulations, you just promoted yourself to Employee of the Month. Every carrier handles detention differently. Some pay, some don't. Some say, we'll pay you if the customer pays us, which is basically like your boss saying, I'll pay your salary if the vending machine reimburses me. Here at Cheeseman, we keep it simple: $27 an hour after the first hour on LTL stops, and after 2 hours on full truckload stops. Straightforward, fair, professional. But you know what's even better than detention pay? Not being detained at all. So far, through week 43, I've had only 10.67 hours of detention for the entire year. That's not luck. That's management. Because in trucking, you're not just managing freight, you're managing time, people, and patience. I stay in touch with dispatch, communicate with shippers, plan my routes, and when I arrive, I'm in and out like a breeze. Now I'm curious, what about you? Does your carrier pay detention? How long before it kicks in? And do they only pay it if the customer does? Drop your answers down below. Let's see how other companies handle this little slice of trucking purgatory we call dock time. First, we'll talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 2,674 dispatched miles. I had 2,530 logged miles. The day in orange, I was on a paid 34-hour reset. Let's look at my unedited pay statement for period 43 of 2025. This includes all trips from October 12th to October 18th. Detention paid $44. Empty miles paid $41. Securement paid $61. Hazmat miles paid $14. A 34-hour reset paid $100. Loaded miles paid $1,646, and stops paid $270. Total earnings for this week was $2,176. 43 weeks into the year, my gross income is $96,955, and my total miles is 122,674. That averages out to $2,255 per week and 2,853 miles. Estimated out over 52 weeks, my estimated annual is $117,248. Year-to-date numbers as of week 43 of 2025. I've been paid for 122,674 miles, covering 34 states, making 301 stops. 93% of those miles have been loaded, averaging 79.0 cents per mile. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year through the end of the 43rd week. I have been on home time 22 times so far, totaling 63.5 days. I also have 5 overnight breaks at the house and 20 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I am not paid hourly, but let's calculate like an hourly job. For the week, My gross pay was $2,176 for 57 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 40 regular hours and 17 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $36.51 per hour. For the year, my gross pay so far is $96,955 for 2,479 hours of work. If we break it down into a typical hourly job, it could be 1,685 regular hours and 794 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $33.71 per hour. Taking a look at the if only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page. 43 weeks have gone by so far that totals 7,224 hours. I have been at home 1,524 of those hours. That works out to 5,700 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 43 is $96,955. That works out to $1,701 per hour away from home. You know, detention pay reminds me of overtime back when I was a salaried executive. It looked great on paper, but it was about as real as a corporate meeting that starts on time. If you love sitting around doing nothing, then by all means go pull refrigerated freight. You'll master the fine art of waiting. You'll have time to write a novel, learn French, or just stare at your windshield until your reflection starts talking back. For the rest of us, we'd rather keep those wheels turning. Because detention pay might ease the sting, but it's never as good as movement. Waiting on a dock feels just like waiting for a corporate meeting to start. Same boredom, colder coffee, and much worse chairs. So, drivers, whether you're in a dock, on the road, or somewhere in between, remember, time is money and patience doesn't always pay by the hour. I'm Tom Bell, the midlife trucker, reminding you to make sure that you are enjoying every day at work.